The cameras were still rolling when the impossible happened. The entire set had been filled with a tense silence for hours as Dylan Wang and Shen Yue filmed what was meant to be one of the most emotional reunion scenes of the year. Their chemistry had always been undeniable, but today something felt different. Whispers behind the scenes hinted that there had been tension long before the cameras started recording, tension that had nothing to do with the script and everything to do with their past. The director gave a quiet signal to keep the scene going, but the atmosphere in the room was so heavy that even the crew shifted nervously. Dylan delivered his lines with a voice that trembled more than it should have. Shen Yue stood in front of him, her eyes reflecting not just her character's pain but something far deeper, something real. Then, without warning, she broke character completely. She turned, dropped the script pages she had been holding, and walked straight off the set. The sound of her footsteps echoed down the hallway, each step louder than the last. No one dared to stop her. It wasn't part of the scene, and it wasn't rehearsed. This was real. The set went silent, and every crew member stared in disbelief at Dylan, who stood frozen in place. His hands were trembling, and his expression revealed what he never intended the world to see, the face of someone who had just lost control of the moment. The crew murmured quietly, some pulling out their phones, others exchanging wide-eyed glances. But before anyone could speak, Bai Lu, who had been standing quietly at the side as an observer, stepped forward. She had been brought to the set that day for reasons the production never fully explained, and no one had expected her to be drawn into the chaos. Yet as Shen Yue disappeared through the exit doors, Bai Lu turned to Dylan with a look that cut through the silence like a blade. Her voice was calm, almost too calm for the situation. She said only one sentence, but it was enough to leave everyone frozen in place. "So, this is what you've been hiding all along." Those words were not part of any script. They were not rehearsed or planned. They came from something raw, something Bai Lu had clearly been holding back. The crew gasped, unsure if this was still performance or if the private world of Dylan, Shen Yue, and Bai Lu had just spilled out into the open. Dylan's face turned pale, and for a moment, even the director didn't know if they should call cut or let the cameras keep rolling. The whispers grew louder. Did Bai Lu know something that the rest of them didn't? Did her words reveal a hidden truth that connected all three of them? The tension was unbearable. Some crew members claimed later that Dylan's eyes filled with a sorrow so deep it looked like he wanted to explain himself, but no words came. Others said Bai Lu's expression revealed she had been waiting for this moment, waiting for Shen Yue to make a move that would uncover everything. Meanwhile, Shen Yue never returned to the set that day. The production shut down early, and the footage captured in those moments was quickly locked away, labeled as too explosive to be released. Yet leaks began to surface online, shaky recordings from crew members who had secretly filmed the incident. The clips went viral instantly. Fans around the world replayed them over and over, analyzing every second, every word, every glance between Dylan, Shen Yue, and Bai Lu. Some fans insisted this was proof that Dylan and Shen Yue's history was far deeper than anyone had guessed, that their emotions on screen had always come from something real. Others believed Bai Lu's reaction suggested she had been part of a secret triangle all along. Social media exploded with debates, hashtags trended across platforms, and even mainstream news outlets began covering the story. What made the moment even more powerful was its unpredictability. No one expected Shen Yue to walk out. No one expected Bai Lu to step in with such a pointed remark. And no one expected Dylan to be caught so completely off guard. As the story continued to spiral, fans demanded answers. Was Shen Yue walking out a final goodbye? Was Bai Lu's statement a confession of betrayal? And most of all, what was Dylan really hiding? The production studio released no comment, fueling speculation even further. Every day new fan theories emerged, some claiming a hidden relationship, others insisting the walkout was staged for publicity. But those who had been there that day knew better. The silence that fell across the set, the tremor in Dylan's hands, the weight in Bai Lu's words, none of that could be faked. And so, the mystery only deepened. Shen Yue remained quiet, Dylan avoided interviews, and Bai Lu offered no further explanation. The only thing the world had was that single sentence, spoken at the exact moment Shen Yue walked out. A sentence that left not just the crew, but millions of fans across the globe, completely frozen. The night after the walkout, the industry buzzed with endless speculation. Reporters gathered outside the studio, fans flooded social media, and even rival production houses whispered about the chaos that had unfolded. Dylan Wang had vanished from public view, refusing all interviews. Shen Yue had not been seen since she left the set. And Bai Lu, though silent, had become the center of attention, her single sentence replayed across every platform in slow motion. The weight of her words lingered like a shadow. So, this is what you've been hiding all along. But what exactly had Dylan been hiding? Rumors spread like wildfire. Some claimed Shen Yue discovered private messages between Dylan and Bai Lu, messages that revealed a side of their connection the world had never seen. Others believed Shen Yue's decision to walk out was not sudden at all, but a long-planned act of courage, a way to step away from a tangled web she could no longer endure. Meanwhile, behind closed doors, the production team struggled with an impossible decision. Should they edit the footage, cover up what happened, and proceed as though nothing had occurred? Or should they release the raw, uncut scene to the public, knowing it would change the careers of everyone involved forever? The director, who had witnessed every unspoken emotion that day, admitted privately that what unfolded in front of the cameras felt more real than any drama script he had ever directed. The pain in Dylan's voice, the storm in Shen Yue's eyes, and the calm steel in Bai Lu's words carried a truth no screenplay could capture. It was life bleeding into art, and once it happened, there was no turning back. Days passed in silence until finally, Shen Yue resurfaced. She appeared briefly in front of cameras at an airport, her head lowered, her expression unreadable. When reporters shouted Dylan's name, she kept walking. But one reporter asked about Bai Lu, and for the first time, Shen Yue stopped. She turned just slightly, her eyes sharp but tired, and said only one thing. "You have no idea what really happened." That single sentence set the world aflame again. Fans dissected every word, every tone, every pause. Did she mean Dylan betrayed her? Did she mean Bai Lu's involvement was deeper than anyone thought? Or was it something else entirely, something no one outside the triangle could ever understand? While Shen Yue remained elusive, Bai Lu finally gave her own response during a live broadcast meant to promote her new drama. When a fan asked if her words on set had been scripted, Bai Lu leaned back in her chair and smiled faintly, a smile that carried more questions than answers. "Sometimes the truth slips out when you least expect it," she said, before changing the subject. Dylan, however, stayed completely silent. His silence became louder than any words could have been. His fans defended him, insisting he was protecting both women by refusing to fuel the fire. Others accused him of hiding, of refusing to face the truth that Bai Lu's words had dragged into the light. The climax came when leaked audio surfaced online. A short, muffled recording from someone on set captured Dylan's voice just moments after Shen Yue walked out. The crew had been whispering, but his trembling words cut through the noise. "I never wanted it to end this way." Those words, though simple, changed everything. Fans argued endlessly about who he had been speaking to. Was it Shen Yue, the one walking away? Or was it Bai Lu, standing in front of him with eyes that revealed too much? In the end, the mystery remained unsolved. Shen Yue never offered further clarification, Bai Lu never explained her sentence, and Dylan never broke his silence. Yet the incident cemented itself in entertainment history, not as part of a scripted drama, but as a real-life moment that blurred the line between fiction and reality. The set, once meant to capture a love story for the screen, became the stage for a real-life heartbreak that the world would never forget. Fans still debate the truth to this day, replaying the leaked footage, analyzing the audio, and dissecting every expression. But the reality is simple, no matter what theories emerge. Shen Yue walked out. Bai Lu spoke the words that froze the room. And Dylan Wang, caught between the two, stood in silence as the world watched.